The Air Force, you're crazy. You're going into the infantry.
He signed up for the Army training after completing his Air Force training during World War II. How love put this hero on the front lines at the Battle of the Bulge. Coming up next in Home of the United States put nearly 16 million men and women in uniform during World War II. Time marches on, and it won't be long before their stories are lost to us forever. Fortunately, some of those vets are still going strong. And as we learn in tonight's Home of the Brave, that includes a local man who became a hero because he loved his country and a very pretty young lady.
The good old days are now, baby.
It's Friday morning in Edwardsville.
I'm starting to sort.
And Jerry Legow is on the floor. He's been working at Imbers Menswear for nearly 60 years because he says he loves people.
It's fun. It's fun. People. People and fun.
But before he was serving customers, Captain Legow was serving his country. He joined the Air Force shortly after the Japanese attacked Pearl Harbor.
I felt very mad, and I felt like I had to do something.
The Army was in desperate need of soldiers, and Jerry was in love with a girl. So after completing Air Force training and getting ready to go overseas, he agreed to go to boot camp because it kept him closer to Ida for a few more months.
Now, my fellow cadets at the Air Force, you're crazy. You're going into the infantry.
Oh, I like that. That he was, I didn't care about the infantry. I knew that we would be together.
But a short time later, he was off to war. Jerry Legow was a platoon leader when he landed on Omaha Beach during the D-Day invasion in 1944.
We stepped over bodies, and as we went up the cliff, there were bodies. When we got to the top, there were bodies.
How did you deal with that?
You blocked it out because you were so scared for your own life. And don't let anybody say her heroes are scared. And believe me, you were scared, and I mean wet scared.
6 months later, he won the Purple Heart and the Silver Star when, in the snow and bitter cold, American forces stopped a German counteroffensive at the Battle of the Bulge.
I had a group of men that we formed I always call them my posse, that we had to eliminate a German stronghold that I led to them. Unfortunately, we wiped them out.
After the war was over, Jerry was put in charge of security at the Nuremberg trials. The guards you see in these pictures watching over Nazi war criminals were under his command.
These are all letters.
Ida kept all Jerry's letters from the front lines.
My darling.
Hey, what a smooth operator he was.
Yes, you are mine. If you don't believe it, just ask me.
They've been married 61 years.
And the camel and the cream. Beautiful. And
Now, even at the age of 85, he reports for duty every day at Imbers. His customers often not aware that they're in the company of a hero.
I'm glad I did everything I did. It was history, and I'm glad I was a part of it.
Jerry will only tell his war stories when asked. Fortunately, he's been asked by the Rotarians, the Holocaust Museum, and SIU Edwardsville to share his experiences from time to time. We only scratched the surface tonight. I'm not sure we'll ever be able to properly thank Jerry and the brave men and women like him.
Some vivid memories this Memorial Day weekend recalled by a Creve Corps man who was assigned to handle security at the famed Nuremberg trials back in the 40s.
Memorial Day has a special meaning for a Creve Corps man. It takes him back to Nuremberg, Germany, where as a young Army captain, he was in charge of security at the storied war trials. Fox News' John Arbel finds him remembering historic times in the 40s as if they happened only yesterday.
The boys were all in their little cells. We had Jodl and Keitel and Dennitz and Hess and Ribbentrop and Funk, the head of the Reichsmark.
Jerry Legow was a young Army captain who thought he was going home when World War II ended. Then he got word from a general named Wild Bill Donovan.
And if you think you're going home, forget it. You're going to be here until sentencing.
Here was Nuremberg, Germany, where Legow was given the responsibility of security for the war trials. Well, he just wanted to go home to his wife, Ida, and her family's men's shop in downtown Edwardsville. The pair met at the USO at Scott Air Base, fell into a love that has lasted for 65 years. Now 89, he still goes to work 4 days a week, but he never forgets the trials, particularly defendant Julius Streicher, who spit on him.
He was a no-good SB. He hit me as I'm walking by. I am going to see that you behave every minute you're here, Streicher. You're going to wish you had never met me.
Jerry doesn't think much of the big-time movie Judgment at Nuremberg, released in 1961.
Basically, it was such a phony, I just couldn't watch it.
Jerry's security effort in Nuremberg only failed once.
Mussolini's right-hand man got to the stops of the thing, jumped down and committed suicide. Never in the history book.
John Obel, Fox 2 News.